The music at the lagoon party thrummed against the night like a restless heart. Victoria Keys gleamed with its usual polish, SUVs parked along the boardwalk, designer laughter spilling between strings of fairy lights, and the scent of salt drifting through the air. Yet, for Amara Benson, the night felt borrowed. She wasn't supposed to be here. Her parents, strict and immaculate, would never approve. Her father's empire was built on appearances. Her mother wore grace like armor. But her best friend insisted, one night away from the script, Amara, just breathe. She tried. For a while, the champagne bubbles and city lights blurred into something close to freedom. Then the air shifted. Laughter softened. Whispers rippled through the crowd like wind through reeds. A name floated between them, Raphael King. Heads turned. Even the music seemed to hesitate. Everyone knew the stories. Raphael, the boy who'd left another bleeding after a fight, who vanished into juvie, who returned to the city like a ghost carrying his own legend. They said he was made of silence and ruin, that he didn't smile, that he was dangerous. And yet, when Amara saw him leaning against a motorbike, half hidden under a flickering street lamp, she couldn't look away. He wasn't laughing, wasn't drinking. Just there, steady, unreadable, a still point in the chaos. His black shirt clung to muscle, his jaw cut with defiance. The kind of presence that demanded attention without asking for it. Amara's breath caught, not in fear, but in awareness, like her pulse recognized something before her thoughts did. Don't look at him, her friend warned. He'll burn everything you touch. Amara tried to obey, tried to melt back into the party, to dance, to forget. But when she looked again, Raphael was watching her. Just for a moment, gray eyes meeting hers through the neon haze, and the sound fell away. The music, the chatter, the lagoon. There was only that look, sharp and impossibly calm. Then he turned away, and the noise rushed back. Still, something in her had shifted. She'd been told all her life to avoid the fire. But that night, she wondered what it might feel like to touch it. Rules defined Amara's world: politeness, posture, perfection. Her father's word was law, her mother's approval currency. Their mansion in Victoria Keys glittered with imported chandeliers and empty warmths. At dinner, conversation was a script. But one evening, when Raphael's name drifted into the room like smoke, her father's voice cut sharp. "That boy is a stain on this city," he said. "I don't want his name spoken here." Amara stayed quiet, pretending her heart wasn't pounding. Yet after that, she saw Raphael everywhere, leaning against his bike near Broad Street, smoke curling from his fingers, outside the mall, alone and unbothered, by the school gates, cap low, eyes hidden. The city whispered about him, but she stopped trusting whispers. Curiosity blurred into obsession. Then one stormy evening, restlessness drove her out of her house. The rain fell in heavy sheets, drumming against her umbrella as she found her way to an old apartment block she'd only heard about. They said Raphael lived there with a cousin. The balcony light flickered weakly above a peeling wall. Amara climbed the steps and knocked. Nothing. She turned to leave, but then the door opened. He stood there, taller than she remembered, shadows clinging to him like a second skin. His voice was rough. "What are you doing here?" "I just wanted to talk." He crossed his arms, leaning on the door frame. "You shouldn't be here, princess." The word stung, but she didn't move. "People say things about you," she said softly. "I wanted to see for myself." For a long moment, there was only rain. Then he stepped aside, just enough for her to stand under the overhang. Not a welcome. Not a dismissal. "Suit yourself," he muttered, walking away into the dimness. She didn't follow, didn't flee either. And somehow, that small defiance felt like a beginning. Banana Bay was luxury fenced off from the world. Glass mansions, marble lawns, quiet money. Amara belonged there. Raphael didn't. When his cousin started working as a mechanic for one of the residents, he rode through the gates like an accident that the rich pretended not to see. Their first real conversation happened under a palm tree near the marina. "You're not supposed to be here," he said. "Neither are you," she shot back before thinking. His lips twitched, almost a smile. "You shouldn't talk to me," he warned. "People will talk." "They already do," she said. "But they don't know you." That was how it began. Fragmented talks under streetlights, stolen minutes behind parked cars, truths offered in pieces. He told her about his cousin, about the friend he lost, about the weight he carried. She told him about her loneliness, about her parents' polished world that never felt like hers. He called her princess less often. Once, he even laughed, low, real, unguarded. Still, he kept his walls high. When she asked about the fight that sent him away, his jaw locked. "Drop it. Why do you keep pushing me away?" she asked once. "Because you don't belong in my world," he said. "And I don't belong in yours." The words should have ended it. They didn't. Each time he turned, she found her way back. The danger, the distance, it didn't scare her anymore. It made her feel alive. She wasn't chasing safety. She was chasing truth. The rumors came like rain, quiet at first, then relentless. Amara and Raphael's names tangled in every conversation. Anderson's perfect daughter with the boy from the streets. Friends turned away. Her parents' patience cracked. "You will end this," her father thundered, "or lose everything." But she couldn't. Love, if that's what it was, had already taken root. They met in corners of the city, hiding between shadows and neon. Every look felt dangerous, every touch a rebellion. One night, on a quiet road, he warned her again. "I'll ruin you. Then ruin me," she whispered. "Because I can't go back." That night ended at a nightclub, a place she never should have been. Raphael tried to keep her close, wary. But when an old enemy found him in the crowd, everything exploded. A shove. A fist. Shouts. She saw the stories come alive, rage, pain, the storm he carried. By the time it was over, his lip bled, his eyes hollow with fear, not of them, but of her seeing him that way. At home, the reckoning came. "He will destroy you," her mother said coldly. "If you love us, you'll leave him." "I can't," Amara replied. And just like that, the doors closed. Later, she found him sitting on the steps outside his apartment, bruised and silent. "I saw what they said about you," she whispered. He looked at her, voice raw. "They are right." "No," she said. "You're not that boy anymore." His walls finally cracked. For the first time, he didn't tell her to go. He just let her stay. The invitation came like a summons, gold-embossed, brittle with expectation. "You will attend," her father said. "Alone." She didn't answer. Instead, she texted Raphael, "Come if you want. I'm done hiding." He met her at the steps of the Ocean View Pavilion. Cameras flashed. Inside, chandeliers glittered, and her parents froze at the sight of him beside her. "She's not alone," Raphael said quietly when her father demanded a word. "You walk out with him," her father warned. "You walk out without us." Amara took his hand. "Then watch me." They left under the hum of whispers, the night wet with coming rain. By the time they reached his small apartment, thunder rolled over the lagoon. He paused at the door. "Are you sure?" She kissed him instead. The room was dim. City light leaked through blinds. Every touch felt like learning a new language, hesitant, patient, real. When the rain deepened outside, the world narrowed to heartbeat and breath. The walls no longer mattered, only the safety of being seen. Later, tangled in the quiet, she whispered, "I thought choosing you would feel like losing everything. And it feels like finding myself." Months later, on their small balcony in Ekra, the skyline shimmered across the lagoon. The old life was gone, her father's empire, her mother's cold pride, the parties. What remained was smaller but true. Chipped mugs, shared mornings, laughter that belonged only to them. "I used to think love meant safety," she said softly. "But it meant pretending. This feels real." Raphael brushed a hand through her hair. "You always did like breaking rules." "And you," she teased, "liked building them." He smiled. "Not anymore." The city moved on without them. But for the first time, neither was running. What the world called ruin, they called freedom.